Here back with another Splinterlands video. So in my last video, I talked about Lux Vega's stats, right, and what the card was. So there were some updates that they came out with after I recorded the video to give more information on the card. And as I was getting more of that information, I was thinking more deeply about, is this a card I would want? Who would this card benefit? And one thing really stuck in my mind, and that was people who are playing in high level gold 100% need this card. And I say need, all caps. And I'll explain why in this video. But before I do, I am Hawks21. I cover Splinterlands here on the channel. If you are new to the YouTube community right here, it would be awesome if you could take a second to like and subscribe. We are getting very, very close to 1,500 subscribers. I think we're about 90 something away. So as we get to that number, I will be doing a giveaway at 1,500. So you're going to want to be here in that first 1,500. Now, Lux Vega. So I went over the stats last time. +1 shield, +1 speed, +1 heart. Didn't have all the information in 5 mana, in terms of the mechanics, but we now do. So it is a neutral summoner, as we know, and it's going to be similar to Dragon. So you are going to be able to pick Lux Vega and then pick one additional Splinter to play with. So you'll have access to neutral cards and that Splinter. The only caveat is you cannot pick Dragon. So Lux Vega cannot be played with Dragon. So this is really cool. And if you think about it, what makes this card really cool is that it's going to be available in every single rule set, except for one, and that's Little League, because it has the 5 mana. Legendary summoners are available in Lost Legendaries, because that's only legendary monsters. Legendary summoners are available in, we haven't had this case before, but in the no neutral rule set, she is going to be available because no neutrals is only no neutral monsters. She is a summoner. So she is going to be available in every single match except for Little League. And she can be paired with any of the Splinters that are available in said match except for Dragon. So that's huge. You know, hypothetically, you could just own Lux Vega and be set. Play any matches you want with any set of cards from a Splinter you pick and not own any of the other summoners. And the only thing that you wouldn't be able to do is play Little League rule sets. This could be your only summoner that you have. Now granted, this card's probably going to end up being very expensive because of that. And, you know, you have to get it at max level. So, you know, if you're in bronze or silver, it might not make sense for you to get a card like this because you're not going to be able to utilize it to the best of its strength and abilities. But players in gold, it's something unique about this card that I think makes it a must-have for those in gold. And that's because it's going to help you move up into Diamond and Champion, whether that be permanently, right? You're slowly getting close to getting to that level, or, you know, at the end of each season, you have the collection power to play up into that level, but maybe you don't have the, you know, the leveled up cards necessary to be super successful. This is going to make your process so much smoother, and the process to get into Diamond and Champion, again, whether that's on a permanent basis or at the end of every season, much, much, much easier. You're going to be able to focus now on leveling up monsters and not have to focus necessarily on leveling up specific summoners. And that's where these broad stats come into play, right? Like, this is great in basically every single rule set except for, you know, even take no shield, for example, right? You're still getting +1 speed, +1 health, right? But that's useful for sure. The only one where it's like could be detrimental is reverse speed, right? Like you don't really use Kelia in reverse speed. But for the most part, these are going to be really great applicable stats that you can pair with any Splinter. And they did that on purpose. So let's get into what I'm talking about. We're going to do a little bit of math here. So let's assume you're playing in gold. You have a max level Chaos gold deck. All right? So now, for those playing in gold, you know that the biggest detriment to moving up into Diamond and Champion is how expensive it is, specifically to get the summoners up into those levels, right? And you have to get those summoners up until that level before it's even worth it for you to start leveling up the cards, right? Because if you don't have a leveled up summoner, you can't play the leveled up cards. So let's just take a look, right? We'll start at the top. Kelia, you're sitting here, level 6, 60. You're like, all right, you know what? I'm ready to move up to Diamond and Champion. You know, we need to buy an extra 55. What's your cost? $189. Let's say 190. 190. Then we'll go to Obsidian. We'll just go down the line here. Same thing, bulk buy. I need to buy 55 to max this card out. 156. We'll just do 155 for easy numbers. You know, need Thaddeus too. Buy 55. We'll do 110. We'll round down a little bit. 0. Oh, I put these in the wrong order. Excuse me. Gotta hold the mic in one hand right now, so a little slow. And then next we have Tarsa. You know, starting to get a little cheap, right? Well, even these, 95. Nice even number, though. And then, oh, perfect. I can do Sloan, right? Sloan's super cheap. Right? Getting Sloan's not going to be that bad. 75. Let's sum this up super quickly. You're looking at $625 to be able to level up your summoners to go from gold to Diamond/Champion. That is very, very, very expensive, right? And this is before you even have to spend money on leveling up the cards, right? You haven't even leveled up any cards. You've just leveled up those summoners. And technically you don't really get a benefit of it until you also level up the cards. So it's a little bit of a conundrum where there's really no point in leveling up the cards until you have the summoners leveled up. But once you level up the summoners, you then still have to have more money to then level up the cards. So $625. This to me offers a little bit of a price prediction, at least a floor for Lux Vega. Because what Lux Vega could do for you is you spend the money to get Lux Vega and this cost is totally wiped away, right? Outside of Little League, you'll be able to use Lux Vega with any of these splinters. So that's $625 you won't necessarily have to spend. And then, I mean, you get Lux Vega, right? And then you can come in here. And let's see. Let's go to, you know, let's say you really love to play water, right? Well, we'll take the most expensive, I think it's the most expensive common card in Chaos still, but it's not, it's up there. You need 180 more. Boom. Little under 40 bucks, right? Far cry from what you need for Kelia. You know, I want to get the backfire on the flying squid. Got to pick up that too. 180. 15 bucks. And then got to get the other sort of meta card in Chaos Legion for water. And what do we need? We need 55 more. 25 bucks. Okay, so still this is way less than what it costs to level up Kelia, right? And then you go, oh, well, I also like playing Death. And I already bought Lux Vega, so I don't need to level up my Thaddeus Brood. What can I do with some of the fonts? Oh, I need the Silent Shafiq. It's the piercing, right? So then you're looking at 180. Under 14 bucks, not bad. Obviously, you need the Cursed Windeku. Need an additional 55. What are we looking at here? $32. Not terrible. So as you can see, right, I would have bought all of those cards. Let's keep going. Tenyi Striker. That's a great card. We're going to need that. This would work really well too with Lux Vega. Give this a shield, plus add some speed to it with the backfire that it gets and the dodge it has. We need 55 of these. Another 20 bucks. So as you can see, instead of spending the money to level up all of these summoners, if you could pick up Lux Vega, right, what you could even do is sell off these summoners. And this is kind of like the point of what I'm saying, is you could sell off some of these summoners and then use the proceeds to then reinvest it into the cards themselves, because you no longer will have to worry about the summoners. Does that make sense? So this is to buy 55 of them, right? You would have 60 of them at this point, so these prices would be a little bit higher, but these are also pretty close to the values that you could sell them for. So you could sell all of your summoners or some of your summoners, use some of that money to buy Lux Vega, and then any money that you could have used to put into the game to try to level up, right? It's like if you're in the process of moving up, you no longer would have to spend that money on summoners. You could instead just focus on leveling up monsters. Now again, this really only works for people in gold who are, either close to moving up or get there at the end of seasons, because this is going to be a max level card and this will unlock being able to play max level monsters, which to me is the real key value. The fact that you can use this across all splinters, is going to be available in every single rule set, makes this, to me, almost a must-have card for those on the fringes of gold and diamond. Like if you want to be able to compete and you want to be able to level up cards, this is going to be a card you need to have. Now, I'm probably not the only person talking about this. I'm definitely not the only person who knows this. I'm definitely not the only person who's thought about this. This could obviously affect the price of Lux Vega. And there's obviously a cost in which it doesn't make sense to do this anymore. And now I don't know what that cost is for you. That's sort of what you have to determine. It's kind of a mix of what you have at this point, right? Like if you have a full setup like this, maybe at 400, right? You're willing to sell, maybe everyone except for Kelia or whatever. I don't really know. You're able to sell some of these to buy, and then you've been putting X amount per month in to try to level up to diamond. The cost has to make sense, but if it does, I think this could fast track you to being competitive at the highest of leagues in the game and unlocking those earnings, right? The earnings at the highest levels are absolutely insane. So just something to think about for you gold players. Yeah, I think this is a card you should look into. Again, it might be expensive. Don't be intimidated by it being a max copy. If you're in gold, eventually you're going to want to play in the highest leagues. And this is going to be a card that's going to make that transition and process much, much, much easier. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Again, I am Hawks21. If you liked this video, it'd be awesome if you could like and subscribe. Also leave a quick comment giving me your opinion. I will talk to you soon and see you around the game.